Chapter 1. The Vanishing. Why do some people simply disappear without a trace? No goodbye, no warning, just gone. When a person vanishes, the world is left with questions, theories, and speculations. But sometimes the answer is far more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. In the early hours of January 6, 1993, Bonnie Haim, a 23-year-old mother and wife, seemingly vanished into the night. There were no signs of a struggle, no farewell message, just an eerie absence that left those who knew her grasping for answers. Her car was found abandoned near Jacksonville International Airport at 7 a.m. on January 7, 1993, her purse discarded in a dumpster earlier that morning. But she was nowhere to be found. Was it a planned escape? Or was something far more sinister at play? Chapter 2. A Marriage in Chains. Before she became a missing person, Bonnie Haim was a woman trapped in a suffocating marriage. She had married Michael Haim at a young age, hoping for a life filled with love and security. But what she found instead was control, manipulation, and abuse. Michael was not just an overbearing husband, he controlled every aspect of her life. They worked together at his aunt's company, and since they also lived together, there was no escape. Every move she made was monitored, every financial decision scrutinized. Bonnie was not just Michael's wife, she was his prisoner. Even the birth of their son, Aaron, in 1989, did nothing to soften Michael's grip. If anything, it made things worse. Bonnie hoped that becoming parents would bring them closer, that the weight of responsibility would change him. But Michael remained the same, cold, calculated, and aggressive. He didn't just manipulate Bonnie emotionally, he hurt her physically too. The abuse was not occasional, it was a cycle. Bruises could fade, but the fear never did. One day, in late 1992, after an argument, Michael slammed a car door on Bonnie's hand in a fit of rage. The pain was sharp, but the reality was sharper. She could not stay in this marriage any longer. She made up her mind. She would leave him, but she knew she had to do it carefully. Michael was unpredictable, dangerous. If he knew what she was planning, there was no telling what he might do. Chapter 3. A Secret Plan. Bonnie's first step to freedom was securing financial independence. She secretly opened a bank account in December 1992 and began saving money. A safe escape required planning. She needed a new home, a fresh start for her and Aaron. She also enrolled Aaron in preschool, another step towards building a life away from Michael. But Michael was always watching. On December 29, 1992, he found the bank statement. His control over her finances was slipping and he wasn't going to allow it. Furious, he confronted her. But Bonnie was clever. She explained it away, using her skills as an accountant to manipulate the numbers and reassure him that she wasn't hiding money. Michael believed her, but only after forcing her to put the money back. Despite the setback, Bonnie did not give up. She continued her preparations in secret. She knew she had to be meticulous. She arranged for an apartment and looked into legal separation. She confided in close friends, sharing her fears and her desperation. She had begun storing small amounts of cash in hidden places, hoping to take what she needed when the moment was right. The plan was almost ready. On January 23rd, 1993, she and Aaron would be free. But she never made it to that day. Chapter 4. The Night of Terror. On the night of January 6th, 1993, something happened inside the Haim household, something horrifying. Bonnie was last seen that evening, and the last conversation she had was with a co-worker at 8:30 p.m. She told them she was planning to leave Michael soon. It was a hopeful message, one filled with anticipation for a better future. But it would be the last time anyone would ever hear from her. Michael claimed that Bonnie had left the house voluntarily that night, taking only a small bag with her. But his story quickly fell apart. Bonnie's purse was found at 3 a.m. on January 7, 1993, in a dumpster behind a Red Roof Inn by a maintenance worker. It still contained her wallet, checkbook and ID, Everything she would have needed if she were truly leaving. Then there was her car. It was found abandoned at Jacksonville International Airport at 7 a.m., but something was off. The driver's seat was pushed far back, too far for Bonnie, who was only 5'3". It was adjusted for someone much taller, someone like Michael. And then there were the footprints. Shoe prints were discovered near the abandoned car, and they matched shoes owned by Michael Haim. The evidence was damning, but not enough to make an arrest. But there was one witness, someone who had seen everything. Aaron. At just 3 years old, Aaron Haim began saying things that no child should ever have to say. When asked about his mother, Aaron told his teachers something chilling. "Daddy hurt Mummy." When questioned further by a psychiatrist, Aaron's words were even more disturbing. "Daddy shot Mummy." Authorities knew they had a key witness, but Aaron was too young. His testimony, while compelling, was not enough to convict Michael. Instead, the court made a decision to protect him. He was placed in foster care, and his last name was changed to shield him from his father and any remaining family influence. Michael Haim was left to walk free. For years, Bonnie's case remained unsolved, but time was not on Michael's side. Chapter 5. A Child's Memory. A Mother's Justice. In 2004, Aaron, now an adult, sued his father for wrongful death and won. He was awarded the family home, the very place where Bonnie had last been seen alive. There was one rule in that house, one that Michael had always enforced. The backyard was never to be renovated, never to be disturbed. Aaron never questioned it, until December 2014. While working on renovations, Aaron began digging up the outdoor shower area. Just 6 inches beneath the surface, he found a plastic bag. At first, he thought it was a coconut, but then he realized the horrifying truth. It was a human skull.
Once I saw the teeth, that was the triggering point. That this skull, it still didn't even look like a skull to me. But the teeth, when I saw that, it was clear as day human teeth. I called my mom. She was at church, so she didn't answer. So I called my wife to go to my mom's house to look in her Rolodex and try to find Robbie's phone number, and he didn't answer. And then she found my therapist's home phone number in the Rolodex, so I called her, and she called me back. But by that time, we had already contacted a police friend, and he got a hold of a sergeant on the north side of town. And the ball kind of got rolling there. They showed up, and
for over 2 decades, Bonnie Haim had been buried in her own backyard, hidden in plain sight. With this undeniable evidence, Michael Haim was finally arrested in August 2015 and put on trial. In April 2019, the man who had walked free for so long was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Bonnie's story had finally come full circle. The truth, buried for 21 years, had finally come to light, thanks to the son she fought so hard to protect.